To many of us wake up every day thinking we got time like tomorrow is promised. But let me tell you something, there is no tomorrow. You either go all in today, or you stay stuck where you are. Too many people put off their dreams, their grind, their purpose, thinking they'll get to it later. But later never comes. Success don't wait. The world don't wait. So, if you want it, you gotta act like today is the only chance you got because it is. Too many people wake up every morning with dreams in their hearts, but hesitation in their actions. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow. They'll give their best effort later. They'll chase that goal when the time is right. But the truth is, the time is never right, and tomorrow is never guaranteed. The only moment you have is right now, and success belongs to those who understand that simple fact. It's not about who is the smartest, the most talented, or the most privileged. It's about who moves, who decides, who refuses to let another second slip away without taking action. There are two types of people in this world: those who wait, and those who go get it. The ones who wait, they got dreams just like everybody else. They talk about what they want. They make plans. They imagine how great it would be to live that life, to reach that goal, to achieve what they've always wanted. But when it's time to move, they freeze. They hesitate. They tell themselves they need more time, more resources, more confidence, more knowledge. They keep pushing it off, thinking that one day, when everything is perfect, they'll finally make their move. And before they know it, years have passed, and they're still standing in the same placethan. There are the ones who go get it. These people don't have all the answers. They're not the most prepared, the most qualified, or the most experienced. But they understand one thing: action is everything. They know that waiting for the perfect moment is a trap. They know that every second wasted is a second they'll never get back. So they move, they start, they fail, they adjust, they push forward. While everybody else is making excuses, they're making progress. While everybody else is waiting for a sign, they're creating opportunity. She's is the difference between success and regret. Success isn't about luck. It's not about being born into the right circumstances. It's about urgency. It's about waking up every single day with the mindset that this is your only shot. If you don't go after it today, you might never get the chance again. If you don't put in the work right now, someone else will. And when you finally decide you're ready, the opportunity will be gone. Look around at the most successful people in the world. They didn't wait. They didn't sit around hoping something would happen for them. They went out and made it happen. They didn't care if they were scared. They didn't care if they weren't ready. They took the first step, and then the next, and then the next, until they built something unstoppable. That's the mindset you need. That's the fire you have to bring into your life. But too many people don't want to hear this. They want to believe that they have time, that they can afford to waste a few more days, a few more months, a few more years. They convince themselves that their dream will wait for them, but it won't. Opportunity moves fast, and the only way to catch it is to start running right now. The question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to be the person who talks about what they want, or are you going to be the person who takes it? Are you going to be the one who waits for permission, for the stars to align, for the perfect circumstances? Or are you going to be the one who gets up right now and decides that today is the day? Procrastination is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't come with alarms or warnings. It doesn't feel like a big deal in the moment. It disguises itself as logic, as patience, as preparation. It convinces you that waiting is the right move, that delaying action is a form of strategy. But the truth is, every time you put something off, every time you say, "I'll do it later," you are choosing comfort over progress. You are choosing hesitation over growth. And that choice, made over and over again, is what keeps most people from ever achieving anything. Great problem with procrastination is that it feels harmless. It's just one more day, one more week, one more month. But what people don't realize is that those days add up. Time moves fast, and while you're waiting for the perfect moment, life is passing you by. Opportunities that exist today may not exist tomorrow. Skills that could be built now will take even longer to develop later. Every time you delay action, you're not just standing still, you're falling behind. Because while you wait, someone else is moving. Someone else is putting in the work, taking the risks, getting ahead. And when you finally decide to start, you'll find yourself playing catch up to people who refuse to waste time. At procrastination, it's just about time. It's about mindset. People who procrastinate don't just struggle with taking action, they struggle with belief. They don't believe in their own ability to figure things out. They tell themselves they need to be more prepared, more skilled, more confident before they start. But that's the biggest lie of all. Nobody starts ready. Nobody starts with all the answers. Confidence in something you wait for, it's something you build through action. The people who succeed aren't the ones who had everything figured out from the beginning. They're the ones who started before they were ready. They're the ones who took messy, imperfect action and learned along the way. Fear is the fuel of procrastination. People don't put things off because they're lazy. They put things off because they're afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of judgment, afraid of stepping outside of their comfort zone. So they tell themselves they'll start when they feel more confident, when they're more prepared, when the circumstances are just right. But fear never goes away. Waiting doesn't make it disappear. The only way to kill fear is through action. The only way to build confidence is by proving to yourself that you can do hard things. Every time you take action despite fear, you weaken its grip on you. Every time you push through discomfort, you grow stronger. The people who achieve the most in life aren't the ones who never feel fear, they're the ones who refuse to let it stop them. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for the perfect conditions. They just move. They take the first step, and then they take the next, and through that process, they build momentum. They train themselves to act instead of hesitate, and over time, action becomes a habit, progress becomes inevitable, and success becomes a byproduct of their discipline. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they never start. They spend years planning, dreaming, and waiting, but they never take that first step. And the longer they wait, the harder it becomes. Because every time you put something off, you reinforce the habit of hesitation. Every time you delay action, you teach your brain that it's okay to wait. And before you know it, waiting becomes your default mode, and progress feels impossible. Good news is, procrastination is a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. The moment you decide to take action, you start rewiring your brain. The moment you refuse to wait, you start building momentum, and momentum is powerful. Once you start moving, once you start seeing progress, everything changes. Action breeds more action. Success breeds more success. And suddenly, what once felt impossible becomes inevitable. Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people never reach their full potential. It's not that they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. It's that they let the fear of failing stop them from even trying. They convince themselves that if they don't attempt something, they can't fail at it. They tell themselves they'll start when they feel more ready, more confident, more certain of success. But the truth is, failure is not the enemy. The real enemy is inaction. The real failure is never starting at all, because the people who make it in life, the people who achieve the highest levels of success, are not the ones who never fail, they are the ones who fail the most. Every successful person has a story filled with failures, setbacks, and mistakes. They've experienced rejection, embarrassment, and defeat. But instead of letting those moments define them, they use them as stepping stones. Failure teaches lessons that success never could. It forces growth, it builds resilience, it sharpens skills. Every failure carries within it the seeds of success, but only if you're willing to learn from it instead of running from it. Most people don't realize that failure is not permanent. It's not a reflection of who you are, but a necessary part of the journey. Those who understand this don't fear failure, they embrace it. They know that every mistake, every loss, every setback is simply a lesson preparing them for the next level. Fear of failure comes from the need for validation. Too many people are worried about what others will think if they fall short. They're afraid of looking foolish, of being judged, of proving their doubts right, so they choose safety. They choose comfort. They choose to stay where they are rather than risk the possibility of failing. But in doing so, they also choose mediocrity. They choose regret. They choose to live a life far smaller than what they're capable of, because avoiding failure doesn't bring success. It only guarantees that you'll never know what you are truly capable of achieving. Failure is not a sign to stop. It's feedback, it's information, it's the universe showing you what needs to be adjusted, refined, improved. The only difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people don't let failure stop them. They take the lesson, make the adjustment, and try again. They refuse to let fear dictate their actions. They understand that failure is temporary, but regret lasts forever, and the pain of wondering what could have been is far worse than the pain of falling short. Most people think failure is a dead end, but it's actually a beginning. It's the moment where you get to decide whether you let it break you or build you. History is filled with people who failed more times than they succeeded, but because they refused to quit, they eventually reached greatness. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Steve Jobs was fired from the company he started. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. If any of them had let failure define them, their stories would have ended there. But instead, they used it as fuel. They came back stronger, smarter, more determined than before. And because of that, the world remembers them for their success, not their failure. The truth is, you will fail. It's inevitable. You will make mistakes. You will experience setbacks. You will have moments where you doubt yourself, but none of that matters as long as you keep going. The only true failure is giving up. The only real mistake is not learning from the experience. And the only thing you should ever be afraid of is looking back on your life and realizing you never even tried. Discipline and urgency are the keys to unstoppable momentum. Too many people rely on motivation to get things done, But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Some days, you wake up feeling inspired, ready to take on the world. Other days, you don't feel like doing anything at all. The people who win in life are not the ones who only work when they feel good. They are the ones who show up every single day, no matter what. They are the ones who have built the discipline to take action even when they don't feel like it. Because discipline is stronger than motivation. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't wait for the right mood or the perfect circumstances. Discipline about doing what needs to be done. No excuses, no delayed urgency is the fuel that makes discipline unstoppable. Too many people live like they have all the time in the world. They set goals with no real deadline. They say they'll start next week, next month, next year. They act like their dreams can wait, but time is not unlimited. Every day that passes is a day you will never get back. Every moment wasted is a step further from your goals. People who succeed understand that urgency is everything. They treat every single day like it's their last chance to make progress. They don't wait for the perfect time because they know the perfect time is right. Know when you combine discipline with urgency, you create momentum. Momentum is what separates those who achieve massive success from those who struggle their entire lives. Momentum makes everything easier. Once you start moving, once you start making progress, it becomes harder to stop. Small actions turn into habits. Habits turn into routines. Routines turn into an unstoppable force that pushes you closer and closer to your goals. The problem is, most people never get past the starting point. They hesitate. They stop and start. They wait until they feel ready. But readiness is a myth. You will never feel completely ready. You just have to start. And once you do, you have to keep going. Most people think discipline about restriction, about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. But real discipline about freedom. When you are disciplined, you control your future. You are not a slave to your emotions, your circumstances, or your excuses. You don't wake up hoping you'll be productive. You already know you will be, because discipline eliminates the need for motivation. It removes doubt, hesitation, and fear. When you make discipline a way of life, success is inevitable, because discipline means you will do whatever it takes, as long as it takes, until you. When urgency is what keeps discipline alive, it reminds you that time is passing whether you take action or not. Too many people waste years waiting for the right moment, only to realize too late that they should have started earlier. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. People who understand urgency don't waste time. They don't make excuses. They don't sit around waiting for things to happen. They make things happen. They understand that every day is an opportunity to move forward or fall behind. And they refuse to waste even a second. When you build discipline and combine it with urgency, you become unstoppable. You stop waiting and start doing. You stop hoping and start executing. And once you create that momentum, nothing can slow you down. The people who achieve greatness in any field are not the ones who are naturally gifted. They are the ones who showed up, put in the work, and refused to let time slip away. Because they knew that the only way to win was to act now and keep going until success was no longer a possibility, but a certainty. Every moment wasted is a step further from your dream. People don't realize how quickly time slips away. They think they have years to figure things out, to start taking action, to chase their goals, but life doesn't wait. Every second that passes is gone forever, and the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they use their time. Successful people understand that every moment is an opportunity. They don't waste time on distractions, excuses, or waiting for the right moment. They know that every minute spent hesitating and a minute they could have spent getting closer to their dream. Most people don't fail because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. They fail because they waste time. They waste it scrolling on their phones, watching endless entertainment, procrastinating on the things that actually matter. They let days, weeks, months, and even years pass by without making any real progress. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, next week, next year. But tomorrow turns into never. They wake up one day and realize they've spent their entire life waiting instead of doing. And by the time they finally want to start, they've lost precious years that they can never get back. Harsh truth is that time is the most valuable resource you have. Money can be regained, opportunities can come again, but time is gone forever once it's spent. Every moment you waste is a moment you could have used to build something, learn something, grow, improve, or take a step toward your goals. And every time you choose comfort over progress, you're making it harder for yourself in the long run. Because success isn't built in one day, it's built in the small decisions you make every single day. And if you keep choosing to waste time, you are actively choosing to move further away from your dream. People who succeed treat time like it matters. They don't let distractions steal their focus. They don't let small things pull them away from what really matters. They don't spend hours doing things that bring them no value. They make every moment count. They structure their days around progress, around movement, around action. They know that every hour used wisely brings them closer to their goals, while every hour wasted pushes them further away. This mindset separates those who achieve great things from those who stay stuck in the same place year after year. And of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that they don't have enough time. They say they want to chase their dreams, but they're too busy. They want to start that business, get in shape, learn that skill, but they claim they don't have time. But if you look at how they actually spend their days, you'll see the truth. They have time for social media, for television, for hanging out, for distractions. They have time to waste, but they don't make time to build. The reality is, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. The difference is how you use them. If something truly matters to you, you will find the time. You will cut out the distractions, wake up earlier, stay up later, make sacrifices. Because when something is a priority, you make it happen. When it's not, you make excuse. The world does not reward people who waste time. It rewards people who take action. It rewards those who move, those who create, those who execute. Nobody remembers the person who had big dreams but never acted on them. Nobody celebrates the one who kept saying one day but never followed through. History is written by those who took their moments seriously, who treated time like the precious resource it is. And the painful truth is, most people never realize how much time they've wasted until it's too late. They look back with regret, wishing they had started sooner, wishing they had done more, wishing they had taken their dreams seriously. You don't want to be one of those people. You don't want to wake up one day and realize you wasted years of your life on things that didn't matter, on distractions that led nowhere. You don't want to look back and wonder what could have been if you had just started earlier. worked harder, stayed more focused. The only way to avoid that regret is to act now. Not tomorrow, not next week right now, because every moment wasted is a step further from your dream. And if you truly want it, you won't let another second slip away.